So students, we will see third stage of labor. So third stage of labor starts with the delivery of the fetus and ends with the delivery of the placenta. Now we will see what are the different aspects of third stage of labor. So what is third stage of labor? So it lasts from the birth of the baby until the placenta is expelled. It is also known as the placental stage of labor. So physiological processes by which this placental separation and expulsion takes place can be divided into three phases, that is placental separation, descent of the placenta and expulsion of the placenta. So placental separation. What is placental separation? So that it is a result of abrupt decrease in the size of uterine cavity. The retraction process will accelerate and the formation of uteroplacental clot. And before separation, if you just examine for abdomen, uterus looks like discoid in shape, firm in feel and palatable. Fundal height reaches slightly below the umbilicus. And for vaginal examination, there may be slight trickling of blood. Length of the umbilical cord will be visible from outside of the. From outside, it will be visible. Remains static. There is no lengthening or shortening. Then after separation, if you just examine for abdomen, the uterus will become globular, firm and palatable. Fundal height is slightly raised and suprapubic bulging takes place, and for vaginum, slight gush of vaginal bleeding, permanent lengthening of the cord will be there. Next, descent of the placenta. Sudden trickle of gush of blood will be there. Lengthening of the umbilical cord takes place and change in the shape of the uterus, that is globular shape, and change in position of the uterus. Next, expulsion of the placenta. There are two methods of expulsion of placenta. Schultz mechanism, which is also called marginal separation, marginal central separation, and Duncan-Matthew mechanism, also called marginal separation. You can see how the from this margin the uterus placenta gets separated and it will be expelled. In case of Schultz mechanism, the placenta will separate centrally. So central separation, then it will be expelled. Then hemostasis, retraction of the oblique uterine muscle fibers, vigorous uterine contractions following placental separation, and transitory activation of the coagulation and fibrinolytic systems. So hemostasis can be secured. Then management of third stage of labor. See, guarding the uterus to keep oneself and anyone else from massaging it prior to placental separation. See, before separation of the placenta takes place, we need to monitor the uterus and do not massage the uterus before placental separation except when partial separation has occurred by natural processes and excessive bleeding is evident. Next, management of third stage of labor. Do not pull the umbilical cord before the placenta separates or ever with an uncontracted uterus, because if you just put traction and pull the umbilical cord, then sometimes some of the placental products may be retained inside the uterus. And do not try to deliver the placenta prior to its complete separation unless in the emergency situation of third stage of hemorrhage. Then wait for the natural process to occur and do not interfere. These are the important points we need to remember. Then a hand is placed over the fundus to feel the signs of placental separation. The client is asked to bear down simultaneously with the hardening of the uterus. If the placenta fails to expel, one can wait for up to 10 minutes. And as soon as the placenta passes through the introitus, it is grasped by both hands and twisted round and round and slightly up and down with gentle traction. We'll see how this will be removed. Then which is called controlled cord traction method or modified Brand Andrews method. You can see how for abdomen place the finger and just put traction and slightly round and remove the placenta. This is controlled cord traction method. And expression by fundal pressure is another one. This is done by placing 4 fingers of the hand behind the fundus and thumb in front of the uterus to use as a piston. The uterus is made to contract by gentle rubbing. When the uterus becomes hard, it is pushed downwards and backwards. The pressure should be withdrawn as soon as the placenta passes through the intractus. Then use of oxytocic agents. The administration of oxytocic drugs at the time of delivery of the anterior shoulder can be used as prophylactically. Then therapeutic administration. In this method implies the use of oxytocic either to stop bleeding once it has occurred or to maintain the uterus in a contracted state when there are indications that excessive bleeding is likely to occur. Next, fundal height during third stage. At the end of the third stage following the expulsion of the placenta, the fundus is up to 4 centimeters below the umbilicus. Fundus is nothing but the hardening part of the uterus. For abdomen, how you feel hard mass. Next, completion of the third stage. After completion, you need to continuously evaluate about the whether the uterus is contracted or not, and slight lacerations are usually repaired immediately, and vulva and perineum are gently cleansed. Mother's blood pressure, pulse and temperature should be taken. Once the mother is comfortable, the placenta and membranes is the next priority. Next, you have to examine the placenta and the membranes for the presence of any infarctions which are recent and old, or any localized calcifications, presence of how many lobes are there, then blood vessels, insertion of the cord, umbilical vessels, cord length, weight of the placenta. You need to examine after the expulsion of the placenta. And the care of newborn and the mother. Care for at least an hour after delivery. So up to 1 hour we need to take care of the baby. The mother should receive cleansing, body wash, mouthwash and perineal care. She should be encouraged to empty bladder and bedpan offered. Blood pressure, pulse, uterine contraction and bleeding should be checked every 15 minutes. Then care of newborn and the mother. The baby's general well-being and security of the cord clamp needs to be checked. As the baby will chill after birth, thoroughly dry and drop the baby. Mothers intended to breastfeed may be encouraged. Early breastfeeding causes a reflex release of oxytocin from the posterior pituitary and stimulates the uterus to contract. So it helps in involution of the uterus. Then you need to record all the drugs which are administered and examination of the placenta, membranes and cord with attention drawn to any abnormalities and the amount of blood loss. Then complications of the third stage of labor. Usually postpartum hemorrhage, formation of hematoma and retained placenta, inversion of uterus and shock. These are usual complications that may be faced in third stage of labor. Now we will see the active management of third stage of labor. So the objectives are to understand about the third stage, to prevent complications, active management and inappropriate or harmful practices should be avoided, and best practices must be instituted. Next, delivery. The third stage is nothing but delivery of the fetus, delivery of the placenta and membranes. It takes up to 30 minutes and average is 5 to 15 minutes. In case of prime, it may take 30 minutes, and in case of 5 to 15 minutes in multi-para, and it is shorter in multi, slightly longer in prime. Then which are key events in third stage: separation of placenta, expulsion and delivery of placenta and hemostasis. We have seen already. So then separation of placenta through central separation, marginal separation. What are the signs of placental separation? Uterus becomes contracted, very hard and globular. Uterus rises just above the umbilicus. Extra vulvar lengthening of umbilical cord will be there, and a gush of blood frequently appears, fresh blood. On pushing the uterus up in the abdomen, the cord does not receive vacuum. Then expulsion or delivery of placenta can be done by natural expulsion or controlled cord traction. Natural expulsion is nothing but bearing down efforts, and then controlled cord traction. We have seen how this method will help in delivery of the placenta. And contraction and retraction of myometrium, that is ligature effect, which may be any formation of thrombosis and apposition of uterine walls. All this will help in securing hemostasis in the uterus once the placenta is separated and expelled. Then complications are PPH, retained placenta, inversion and postpartum shock we have seen. And then coming to the active management of third stage of labor. Principles of this active management of third stage of labor are: enhanced separation of placenta, safe and complete delivery of placenta and minimize bleeding. These are the major principles in third stage. So to attain these principles, the components are use of oxytocin, delivery of placenta by controlled contraction, massage of uterus after placental delivery, and examination of birth canal and afterwards repair of tears or episode. Oxytocin drugs which are given may be oxytocin, ergometrine and methyl ergometrine, prostaglandin and misoprostol. Then oxytocin is safe, cheap, no contraindications and effective quick action. 10 units will be given intramuscularly and it is less heat level. Then ergometrine, which is the cheapest, has contraindications, side effects, sometimes very serious. It is the most effective drug given in the dose of 0.2 milligrams IM or IV. It is heat level. Then prostaglandin is very costly, and we have to note whether the use of this prostaglandin is contraindicated or not. In some of the patients with heart disease and other medical disorders, this use of prostaglandins may be avoided, and you have to monitor the presence of any side effects. This is effective when it is used in 125 to 50 micrograms intramuscularly. This is highly heat level. Then in misoprostol, which is less costly and no significant contraindications are there and no significant side effects. It is very effective drug given 600 milligrams orally and it is highly heat stable. And oxytocin is the first drug of choice. Misoprostol, which has a promise, and prostaglandin effective but it is costly. Then delivery of placenta. Controlled contraction, raising the uterus gently upward by abdominal hand. Traction when placenta is separated or uterus is contracted. Then uterine massage immediately after placental delivery till uterus will become hard. Repeat intermittently up to 1 to 2 hours. So this helps for removing of any clots that are there inside the uterus. Then immediate postpartum care. Closely monitor for first 6 hours. Pulse, respirations, temperature, blood pressure and general condition of the patient must be observed. Vaginal bleeding, uterine hardness must be observed at every 15 minutes for 1 hour. First 1 hour after delivery of placenta, and every 30 minutes for up to 2 hours and every hour for 3 hours. And massage the uterus every 15 minutes to maintain the contraction. And if stable, give her something to, you can give the mother to something to drink like tea or coffee, or if she is hungry, you can give even some light food also. Then inappropriate or harmful practices which are to be avoided. Please remember, these procedures must be avoided. All these important things need to be avoided. And non-use of active management, manipulating the uterus unnecessarily. You need not. You just wait till the placental separation takes place and it can be expelled. Don't apply fundal pressure or squeezing unnecessarily. And inappropriate use of oxytocin. And before, some people have the habit of giving in progression of labor, giving oxytocin before the onset of before the separation of placenta. So such things should be avoided. And inappropriate contraction, you should not before separation you should not pull the cord with traction. This may cause the tearing of the umbilical cord and retention of placenta. And routine catheter or exploration of uterus also must be avoided. Uterine lavage, not examining birth canal after birth. See, after the delivery of the baby and after the delivery of the placenta, you have to examine the birth canal for presence of any tears. If at all any tears are there, you must repair them. Then best practices are cleanliness. You must be ready to any PPH is there, you must be in a situation to attend this PPH, and support person must be there with the mother. Active management for all oxytocin, control traction and uterine massage, and examination of birth canal after birth. And up to 6 hours we need to be very vigilant in the observation of the mother and baby. So these are the effective management of third stage of labor. Okay, in next session we have one more class, that is fourth stage of labor, and I hope with that we can complete the syllabus. And if you have any doubt, when you come over here, we will have a discussion, or and I will try to explain you once again. Okay, girls. Bye.